Hi, welcome back to Detailing World. It's that time of the month again. It's time for another Q&A. So first up then, we've got Royal Car Wash 2020, and he's asking how do you clean the alloys and make sure there's no brake dust. To be fair, you just need to keep on top of the wheels, so clean them on a weekly or at least a fortnightly basis, try to keep the brake dust levels down. You also need a really good wheel cleaner and a fallout remover. You can get products that are both. So I recommend something like the Valet Pro Dragon's Breath to begin with, and then going on from that, just a general wheel cleaner for future washers. And then maybe once a month or every couple of months, hit it again with a fallout removing kind of product. Also, make sure you've got the right equipment as well. So either bristle brushes, which I'd recommend on sort of like standard silver coloured alloys. If you've got gloss black, then go with something like wheel woolies, which are a bit softer and a bit gentler on gloss black paintwork on the wheels. So yeah, that's how you keep your wheels clean and try and keep them dust free. So Timmy Sloan asks, does waterless wash add scratches to the paint? And if so, how to minimise the likelihood? Now, I've never really used a waterless wash or a rinseless wash, but from my understanding, no, it shouldn't. But I think it's all down to method and how you go about it. But as I said, I've never used it, but we have got a video coming up soon, so keep an eye out for that one. Simply Simple Mobile Detailing asks, how many ways do you know of not to leave water spots? To be honest, there's only one way, and that is just to make sure the car is dry first. Now, how you go about doing that, I suppose, there are different solutions. So the traditional way is with a drying towel. So that's been my preferred choice for many, many years, rather than a chamois or a drying blade, because they can just inflict scratches, although they shouldn't leave water spots. So either a plush drying towel. A car blower is now becoming the more sort of like accepted way if you don't mind the extra attention that you get on your driveway from your neighbours. And also adding a filtered water rinse, so something like the Race Glaze 0 ppm water filter, just to rinse down the car afterwards, because you know that water is then pure and there's no contaminants within the water. Even tap water and rainwater has little bits of particles in there, which is what dries and leaves water spots behind. So yeah, basically, in short then, it's just make sure you've dried the vehicle thoroughly once you've done, and that should avoid water spotting. Obviously, you can't help things like the rain, so just make sure you've got a well-protected vehicle after you have washed and dried it. Tune Daily Drivers asks, what should I do next on my M4? To be honest, I don't know what you've already done on the M4. I think people can leave comments down below saying what mods should next follow. Maybe an exhaust system if you've not already upgraded that, but without knowing much about it, I can't really say. So Jonny Weir asks, what is the best shampoo? Now personally, I don't think there is a best, it's just a preference and what your favourite is. I just normally judge them by either there's a good product or a bad product. So I've got some of my favourites here. The good old faithful Dodo Juice Born to be Mild. I've been using this one for about 10 years. I love that. I've always had a bottle of this in the garage. And then recently from last year and this year is the Garage Therapy 1 shampoo. That is a very, very slick, sudsy product. I absolutely love that one. And also the Stiana Gloss Bubbler, again, a very, very sudsy and a very slick product. So they're probably three of my favourites. There's also the Garage Therapy Zero Decon shampoo if you want to strip off any waxes and start with a clean, fresh paintwork. And the Carchem 1900:1 as well. It's a very good shampoo also. So yeah, they're three of my favourites at the moment. S4Int asks, do you typically wash the bottom of the rocker and the grille with separate wash mitts when you're cleaning the car? Yeah, basically, if it's a grille, something like a honeycomb structure, or even just, you know, straight vertical sort of grids in the grille, I would use a brush just because it gets into all the nooks and crannies a lot better. So I would normally go around with a detail brush and some all-purpose cleaner whilst the snow foam is dwelling on the car. And then on a normal wash, then yes, I would use a different wash mitt to wash the lower halves of the car. If it's just like a sort of wash after a week and the car's just got a bit of dust on, I might use the same wash mitt I've been using, but it all depends on the car as well. If you know you're going to be doing some major correction on the car, then you might not really need to worry too much about changing your wash mitt, because if you put a few more swirls at the bottom, it doesn't matter too much because you're going to be removing them later on anyway. But in general, yes, it's good practice to have a nice mitt for the top half and go down to like a crease in the door and sort of like maybe down towards the number plate, and then anything lower than that I'd go with a separate wash mitt. So yeah, 2 wash mitts at the very least. Digicarcare asks, what is the future of dry washing? Now I think this is a bit similar to the earlier question about a waterless wash. Again, it's not a process or something that I've actually tried myself in the past, so it is something I'm looking at doing. I'm waiting for some products to come along. So yeah, I don't really know what to say about that one, other than I think it's going to probably take off a little bit more than it already has done over the last few years, simply for the environmental factors of it. So I know it's quite big in some states in America due to washing restrictions, but over here in the UK, I don't think it's all that massive yet, but I think it probably will become bigger than it currently is. So yeah, I think that's one worth keeping an eye out on. Robinson Auto Detail asks, is mixing your APC with your snowfoam laziness or genius? To be honest, I'd say laziness. There's a few brands out there that do a all-purpose cleaner mixed with your snowfoam. However, normally just spray on your all-purpose cleaner first, let that dwell for a minute or so whilst you get your snowfoam ready, and then foam straight over the top, so the foam helps the APC stay on the car a little bit longer. So yeah, hope that tip works out for you there. So BD Lambert 84 asks, what is the best way to get to the back of the wheel without taking it off, and will APC clean it? If you can't take the wheel off, then try your best to jack it up and then put it on axle stands. However, then you've got the issue of sort of laying and still trying to get behind it. So ideally, you want to be able to take the wheel off. I mean, if you're able to jack the car up and put it on axle stands, then why not just take it off anyway? So I'm going to assume you can't even lift it off the ground. In that case, then you really want some narrow brushes to get right in there. Or really small hands to get into the spokes. It all depends on the wheel design as well. So if you've got these like 20 spoke, multi-spoke wheels, you're just going to need patience and a long, narrow wheel woolly kind of brush, or maybe the Viken really narrow brush that they do. If they're really big, wide spoked alloys, a bit similar to the ones on the Pulsar, then you can normally get in with your hand, or at least some chunky wheel woolies. So yeah, just give them a really good clean. As for APC, yes, APC can clean wheels. However, I would normally just recommend going with a dedicated wheel cleaner, because they often, especially with the newer blends these days, they often contain iron fallout removers. So you'll notice a lot of wheel cleaners these days will turn purple, because yeah, it's removing the brake dust and everything else that's on there. So yeah, that's the answer to that really, I guess. So I hope you've enjoyed this Q&A then. If you have, please make sure you smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to this channel already, please do consider subscribing as well. We're going to try and get these done on a monthly basis at the very least. So keep an eye out on our Instagram account. You can follow us there at Detailing World Official. I'm on there as randomly set as well for the behind the scenes, and we'll post on these stories on there the topic of that week or of that month. So yeah, leave your questions there and we'll do our best to answer them. And we'll see you in the next video.